I'm Gary Thornton with Watt, and we're here in Washington, D.C. at the 2010 winter meeting of the USA Poultry and Egg Export Council. We have here Amy Klein, who's a consultant with Euromonitor International. She has given a talk here at the meeting on Latin American egg products research. While Amy has spearheaded projects ranging from beauty and personal care to packaged food and ag products, she focuses on research on emerging markets and specializes in Latin America. Amy, you talked about 5 countries in Latin America, and you talked about where you would go if you were exporting and where you might avoid. Could you tell us a little about that now?
Absolutely. The countries under review are the Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Panama, Costa Rica, and Colombia. After 11 weeks of research and talking with over 50 people within the industry in these countries, all of the information really boiled down and pointed us in some strong markets and then some markets where I might avoid. The strongest markets show really good reference in terms of the population size, the consumption per capita, as well as the growing use of egg products, as well as the other thing that we see as a really big factor is local manufacturers and end users like pasta makers, bread makers, confectionery makers that have regional reach. And the 2 countries that really stand out in my mind are the Dominican Republic and Guatemala. In terms of countries that I might avoid if I were in the egg products market, I would most likely, out of these 5 countries, avoid going to Colombia, where they have local technology to create these products, as well as that technology is growing, and they have a pretty strong, consolidated industry that I think is going to be difficult to enter, difficult to maintain relationships there, and there's a lot of red tape in terms of tariffs and certification.
Well, what would you promote, and how would you grow your product offering in these markets?
After looking at all of the products under review, I really believe that dried whole eggs and then liquid yolks are going to be the 2 most successful looking into the Central American region. Again, one of the reasons I will focus on the dried whole eggs is because we do have a lot of power outages and a lot of difficulty with storage, so the marketing the benefits and educating the end users about why the dried whole eggs will benefit the product range is going to be significant, and I think we can show a lot of growth there. As well as with the liquid yolks, there was a regional supplier that has exited the market, and we see a lot of hungry and very interested end market users that even at the mention of liquid yolks in research want more information about them.
Well, you talked about your regional SWOT analysis for eggs and egg products and the opportunities in that region. One of the factors you mentioned was the growing urbanization trends, which are resulting in increased consumption of table eggs purchased through retail channels. Of course, there were some other factors that you looked at. Right.
We did analyze the market from a number of different angles, especially in traditional markets like Guatemala and the Dominican Republic, where both there's a high reliance on local mom and pop retail stores, as well as in the less urban areas, a tendency to have your own supply of eggs from hens in your backyard. We know that these markets are modernizing, and not only are people beginning to travel to modern stores away from the mom and pop shop to buy eggs, but we also see a dependency in tourism and other industries that is really going to push the use of egg products in the market. And once there's a conversion or a knowledge of these products within the industry, we really believe that, especially in Latin America, that relationship and establishing the relationship with the end users as well as the distributors all the way down to the consumer is going to really translate into stable sales in the region. Additionally, as I've mentioned before, we see that there's been a large regional producer that's exited the market in terms of production of liquid liquid egg products. And again, we see a lot of hunger in the eyes of Guatemala and the Dominican to strike up a relationship with a liquid producer.
Thank you very much, Amy.